Hello, my name is Mike Mundy, and I'm a realtor with Keller Williams Realty Center in Columbia, Maryland. And I'm coming to you with my monthly update on how the real estate market is performing for November 2023. There's a lot of talk out there about what interest rates are doing to the real estate market. And I think we can boil this down to two important questions. Sellers want to know that with interest rates going up, buyers might end up out of the marketplace, and as a result, are they going to have to reduce their home prices? Buyers want to know that with the interest rates that they can afford, are home prices coming down to the point where they can buy more house for their money? Make sure you tune in for the complete report because I have answers to both of these questions and a lot more. Before I jump into the numbers, though, for Howard, Anne Arundel, Prince George's, and Montgomery counties, which happen to be the four counties that intersect right where I live in fabulous Laurel, Maryland, I did want to share ever so briefly with you that I've been a realtor in the local area going on 20 years now. I'm ranked in the top 5% of realtors across the country, and you can learn more about how I attract more buyers and get higher prices for my home sellers at welcomehomemaryland.net. So let's get into some numbers, shall we? So, what you see in front of you is a 2-year chart of Howard County, and what's highlighted is November of last year compared to November this year. I'm going to focus on the two red bars for each month, which are really telling the story here. The taller and lighter red bar is the total number of homes for sale on the market for the month. The shorter, darker bar next to it is the number of new listings that came out for the month. So if you look at the top, it says the average sale price a year ago was $533,000. This year it's $609,000, so it's up by 14%. So that's the answer to the first question. Prices are definitely not dropping. As for the average number of days on the market, this has gone from 24 days last year to 18 this year. The longer red bar is showing the total number of homes for sale. This is down by 14%. The other number you always see me focusing on quite a bit is represented by this shorter red bar, which is the number of new homes coming on the market. This one is down by 34% since November last year. And I'll talk about what all of this means shortly, but for now, let's take a look at the other counties. Here we've got Anne Arundel County. And as you can see, a year ago, the average sale price was $494,000. This year it's $584,000, so it's up by 18%. Days on market has gone down from 30 to 28 days. The taller red bar is showing us that the total number of homes for sale is down by 5%. The shorter red bar is showing us that the new homes coming on the market is down by 17%. Now for Prince George's, you can see here that last year the average sale price was $382,000. This year it's $412,000, so that's up by 8%. Looking at the number of days on market, that's down from 35 last year to 32 this year. This happens to be the highest number of the four counties. Total number of homes for sale, as shown by the taller bar, is down 18%. The number of new homes coming on the market, as shown by the shorter bar, is down by 22%. Moving on to Montgomery County, you can see here that a year ago, the average sale price was $560,000. This year it's $568,000, so it's only up by 2%. Days on market has gone down from 30 days last year to 28 now. Taller red bar is showing us that the total number of homes for sale is down by 12%. The shorter bar is showing us that the number of new homes coming on the market is down by 18%. And so now for my last chart that really pulls all of this together, you're going to notice that there are a lot of numbers here, but not to worry. Let's look at it as an overview. Let's look at the forest and not the trees so that we can see plainly what these numbers are telling us. Now, if we look on the left-hand side, it has the same two categories that we were tracking in the charts, the total number of houses for sale and the total number of new listings for the month for each of the counties. And if you just scan across from left to right, you can see that it's all in the negative. So we've had almost 2 years at this point where there were less total homes for sale, and for each corresponding month, there were less new homes coming on the market. And so this is precisely why the market is so tight and why home prices are so high. Now let's go a little deeper and talk about what all of this really means. So, guys, the reason I keep focusing on the number of homes for sale and the number of new listings coming on the market is because right now we're in what's known as a seller's market. And in a seller's market, you got more buyers looking for homes to purchase than there are homes for sale. And so the buyers must compete against each other for the homes that are available. And oftentimes they're even having to request fewer and fewer concessions from the seller just so that they can be the ones to get an offer accepted. And so with the number of new homes coming in the market being even less than what it was last year, The short-term trend is that the market is continuing to stay the same. The second thing I'm looking at is the number of days on the market. And when we see a market shift, the first thing that would happen is that the number of days on market will increase. All of a sudden, you'll start, really to see this number going up quite a bit. It's going to be noticeable. And so what happens in a case like that is, imagine you have a neighborhood and there are 3 houses for sale in that neighborhood. If one of the sellers has an actual need to sell, like they don't just wish to sell, but they need to sell, and there's 2 other houses and theirs isn't selling, that clock is ticking, and that's going to be why days on market's going up. Their only choice is to reduce their price. And when they do, the other 2 sellers in the neighborhood are going to be like, well, we need to get our house sold too, so we'd better reduce our price. And that's where you get into what's known as this sort of a reverse spiral, completely opposite of what we've been seeing for about the past 5 years or more here in Maryland. So I'm watching very closely the number of houses that are on the market and on average, how long it takes for them to sell. I'm going to go back here to the spreadsheet and tie things together at the bottom of the chart. So here what you guys are looking at is the average sale prices for each month and how those prices have changed from the same month during the previous year. If you just scan across from left to right, you can see that there are very few red numbers, which is when prices were lower than they were the previous year. So in general, the overall picture is that prices have continued to go up. And if you look at the extreme right-hand side, you'll see a column where it shows the 2-year change from November 21 to November 23. In Howard County, that change was 14%. It was higher for Arundel, where the average sale price has increased over the past 2 years by 21%. Prince George's County is at 4%, and Montgomery County is at 7%. The last thing I'm looking at are the average interest rates in the country. And you can see at the very bottom that for the month of November, the average interest rate was about 7.4%, which is thankfully down just a bit from what it was in October, yet still up considerably from 5 to 5.5 that we had a year ago and 3 to 3.5 that we had 2 years ago. So guys, now really just tying it all together, talking about what all of this means to you as a buyer or as a seller. If you're a seller, you really need to be paying attention to the interest rates, because with every increase, there really are fewer and fewer buyers that can buy your house. And at some point in time, interest rates will have an impact on the market. Now, if your house is priced correctly, set up correctly, marketed correctly, it will sell almost instantly and most likely above the asking price. I know this might come as a surprise to some of you because the media has been telling you that the market is crashing. And this is why I'm being very careful with my words. If your house is priced correctly, set up correctly, and marketed correctly, as long as those 3 things are in place, your house is going to sell very quickly and most likely with multiple buyers competing against each other to get your house. Now, if any of those 3 components are missing, you may just end up face to face with the 2 price-depressing problems that cost sellers thousands. And these are high days on the market, which is pretty self-explanatory, and buyer delay, which is where buyers delay making offers after a showing. Definitely not where you want to be as a home seller in today's real estate market. And by the way, if you would like a price on your Maryland home today, you can call me or text me at 301-675-6355 or visit marylandhomeprice.com. And so now, guys, if you're a buyer, you need to know what category a particular house falls into. Let's say a house comes up for sale, you go out and see it, it looks great, it checks all the boxes. You need to know whether that's a house where you're going to have to overbid the price and compete with other buyers, or whether it's a house that's going to sit on the sidelines. And quite honestly, you might want to let it sit there for a week or two so that you can get it for a lower price, or maybe negotiate some seller credit towards your closing costs, which of course, as you know, keeps more of your own money in your pocket. I can help you with these sorts of things. I can help you determine whether the house is overpriced to begin with because I'm looking at the numbers. Now, if it's priced correctly, I'll tell you what the market's doing in terms of the overbid. Could be as little as 2% over the asking price. It could be as high as 6 or 7%. We would have to look at the average for that particular area. I can show you both the high end of this as well as the low end. Oh, and by the way, if you're looking to begin your home buying process, you can call or text me 301-675-6355, or you can visit welcomehomemaryland.net where you can begin searching house listings right away. So guys, at the end of the day, if you're a buyer, reach out to me. If you're a seller, reach out to me. I would love to talk strategy with you because that's my thing. My number is 301-675-6355. Again, 301-675-6355. or welcomehomemaryland.net. If you know anybody that could benefit by seeing this video, please direct share it with them or give out my contact information, and I'll be happy to make that connection. That's all for now, and see you next month.